During a long walk back, the fog finally gives way to the midday sun. I take it as a good omen, if not for what just happened. Eventually, I round one last bend, and there's St. Sattler's that comes into view. As whatever passes for my luck seems to have it, I spot Father Xander lingering next to the entrance. It saves me the trouble of having to find him, I suppose. No, it's because narratively speaking, that's unsatisfying and boring. Just get to the fucking conversations, to the shit happening. Father Xander. He probably thinks you're leaving if you're out with the duffel bag. I like to imagine that Xander's like, what the fuck do you think you're doing, buddy? Sport. Oh, my, Win. I wasn't expecting to see you so Sunday. And I see you carrying your things. Has something happened? Oh, I was expecting this to be like, if you have enough honesty, he would be... If you don't have enough honesty, you'd be more suspicious. But no, this is just his answer. Yeah. Claudia found me, look, searching through her old notebooks. I told her what I was doing and why, and she, did not take it well. Oh, dear. Come on inside. I could talk about it in the sanctuary. Now, tell me what happened. Taking a moment to unburden myself, I take a breath as I compose my thoughts. Stop taking! Once I'm ready, I begin. I explained to the elderly priest about the calls, how they were affecting Claudia, how Malcolm was beginning to take notice, and how nothing was being done to stop them. How I was getting angry at not being able to do anything. How I couldn't stand seeing Claudia being so willing to let it happen. Oh, only if we're attached do we mention that we're angry. The nun scene from Red Dead. How I couldn't stand seeing Claudia being so willing to let it happen. I also confess that this protectiveness towards Claudia is a new emotion for me. And I tell him how I made a decision to look through the things. And then about my discovery, the shouting, and then my currently exiled status. Father Xander listens patiently as I speak, nodding occasionally. When I concluded, he lets out a sigh and moves to sit next to me. Well, I got kicked out of a house too, so that makes two of us, buddy. As he does, I ask him the all-important question that's been haunting me on my way over here. Did I do the right thing? The aged ankylosaur takes a moment to consider the question. He then gives me a reassuring pat on the shoulder. If we do not have enough attachment, he's like, what happens now? And you still get pat, but he still like consider, but doesn't give a reassuring pat. That's cute. It's the little things, man. It's the little fucking things. Time will tell. That was not particularly helpful. My expression must have communicated my thoughts to the priest, as he just continues on. Telling people the truth very rarely makes them happy. For example, he holds aloft a crucifix around his neck and presents it to me. To those living a life full of lies, the truth is too painful to hear, let alone speak. It only gets harder when it involves telling those we love something they don't want to hear. You're a good man when... Or getting them to admit something. So very often, it's the case that being honest about other people's problems is easier than being honest about our own. It's very difficult in the moment to know if causing them pain is the very right thing to do. But it's always better to live in the truth, no matter how painful or how inconvenient it may be. For what it's worth, I do think you did the right thing. Or at least the start of the doing of the right thing. Confronting Claudia with the problem may not have worked out well, but it's a step in the right direction. Just give Claudia some time. She may eventually appreciate your attempt to help her and her willingness and your willingness to come clean, or she may not. She won't be wrong. She isn't wrong to be upset. I seem to recall you snooping around may not be the best of ideas. I seem to recall telling you snooping around. Okay. You did, but you didn't tell me any alternatives either. She refused to talk about it. What else was I supposed to do? I was hoping she would come to trust you enough to just open up about the issue. But perhaps there really was no other option. Sometimes the Lord helps those in need. Sometimes the way the Lord helps those in need is to create conflict like this, to throw their failures in their faces. I wish I knew for certain it would all work for the best to win, truly. But most of the time, the right thing in life is just making the best with the hands we're dealt. I used to play poker, you know. not a particularly reliable method. Well, I appreciate how close you've gotten to Claudia. I'm quite happy about it, in fact. I think it's good for both of you. Now get married, you two! Heavens, no, she's been telling Minnie about how much she likes having you around. Who, of course, then tells me about it. That being said, I think it's time you came clean with her. Attachment is required for Minnie to be told. It's unlikely she'll want to speak to me again. For the time being, I'd say that's a sure bet. But give her some time to cool down. And maybe with some prodding from Mimi and myself, she may be willing to hear you out. And then what? What if she refuses? Well then, I suppose it's up to you. If you want to keep trying to help her, I'll aid you in any way I can, even if she may not appreciate it. But you've made an attempt as I asked you to. So as far as I'm concerned, you've kept your side of the bargain. I won't blame you if you want to focus on your own issues. I'll still help you with that if you decide to stay. Man, why is Father Sanders such a cool guy? Because I kind of expected him to be like, nah, go fuck yourself. But he's like, nah. Which ended up picking it up. And because you may need something else to think about, I think I will give some of those friends of mine a call, see if there's anything that may be of concern for you. In the meantime, feel free to stay as long as you like. I hope you don't mind going back to sleeping on the couch. I promise it hasn't gotten any less comfortable since your last day. A small involuntary tug at the corners of my mouth, briefly leaving a small smirk into existence. Only for attached do we have small smirks. Otherwise, he nods his head in understanding and lets them depart. It'll do. Not the worst thing I've slept on. With a slight chuckle of amusement, Father Xander gives me a slight nod and leaves me in the sanctuary. Left alone with my thoughts, I am left debating with myself about what to do. Whatever I still wanted to help Claudia sort out his issue with her life, whatever she means more to me than just a convenient place for me to hide. Well, this is a big section that only happens if you have attachment. There's so many little moments where attachment is important. Sleeping on the couch with bonus trauma and steps. Don't we all? Don't we all? Considering the absolutely wretched feeling I have in my stomach, I'd say so. My time with her was the first time I've ever started to feel like I had a home. And there are all these feelings that I didn't have before that I don't know what to do with. So getting to a point where I haven't thought about the money as being important in what feels like weeks. It may be a case of out of sight, out of mind, but despite having a gang out to find and kill me, I think I care more about her problem than mine. I wonder if she'll feel the same way if I tell the truth about me. All her issues are small potatoes compared to mine. Maybe we'll have a good laugh about it later around the dinner table, if she ever wants to see me again. The back and forth of thoughts does little more than tire me out. I decide to lay down and get some rest. Ah, there it is. The blanket is here. The blanket! It turns into a burrito instantaneously. I remember this being more comfortable. Maybe it was because I was barely lucid when I was here before. This is all part, by the way, of the section that only happens. There's just time that is gone. A few days later, I've tried to occupy myself with tasks around the church to distract myself from the regret and guilt and worry I feel. Regret about what happened with Claudia, and about what I'll say to her when we meet again. Suffice to say, I wasn't sleeping well. I'd grown accustomed to 3 home-cooked meals a day, and returning to my previous habits wasn't helping. Scrounging meals from convenience stores and gas stations wasn't as filling as it used to be. Not just from the lack of nutrition, but the lack of company, too. I've come to realize just how lonely I had been before meeting Claudia. You have to remember, the thing about pulling weeds is... Now, don't grumble. Manual labor's good for your character. And good for your soul. If you say so. Could do without the commentary. I am providing spiritual guidance in the form of supervision. Father Xander. It's the licorice lady that I want to eat. There you are. I want to talk to you about... Oh, Mr. Doe. Oh, dear. Wait, oh, dear. She looks upset. I mean, why wouldn't she? She's Claudia's best friend. Miss Minnie? No, Minnie, we talked about this.
Oh, I remember. But I'm entitled to be a little upset when a man makes my friend so upset that she calls me late at night calling her out. And Lord help me, I'm not gonna sit by and let you walk away like that damn doctor did. Not without giving you a piece of my mind first.
You know about Malcolm's father, too?
Yeah! I was the one who found her at the mission all those years ago. She told Father Xander and I about what happened to her. And the shame on you for scurrying around her back and digging through her things.
She's just in your age group, hidden fan artists in chat. You know what to... Oh, no!
I just mean that she looks tasty and edible. Like a little candy. I've shown you the evidence.
Oh. I do remember being somewhat tight-lipped before when I asked about Claudia way back when. I should have asked you about the phone calls.
The phone calls? What phone calls?
The harassment calls? From Malcolm's father?
Excuse me?
Like how Father Sanders, like, huh? Oh my god! I saw like, oh, like, what? I teleported. I hope it was nothing personnel.
Excuse me?
When?
Oh, shush! You talk!
I guess she couldn't have been privy. I just guess she hadn't been privy to that info. Man, I love how much the characters are moving around. They're like actually using the fucking art for something. Hidden tension. I glance towards Father Xander for some kind of guidance, but all I get replies an apologetic shrug. I guess it's up to me then. With the tall, ceratopsid woman looming over me and no objections from Father Xander, I tell Minnie all I know about it. How I like ladies in turtlenecks and sweaters and sweater dresses, and how she's totally my type. And honestly, I haven't married Claudia yet, so I can still make a change of plans. And I don't remember anything that happened from that point forward, other than waking up 6 feet under, buried in dirt, and Xander saying something about taking time to dig me back up. He said the funeral was lovely. Okay. With a tall ceratopsid woman looming over me and no objections from Father Xander, I told Minnie all I know about it. I learned about the calls, the threats made to Claudia and Malcolm, my talks with Father Xander about the situation, how he was forced to remain silent, how I tried to talk to Claudia about the calls, as well as how she asked me to forget about it happening.
Why is he bouncing? He's just doing a little bounce.
We don't get that if we don't talk to Claudia. And now I came to my decision to at last search through the boxes in the closet. After I wrap up my explanation, there's a pregnant pause as I wait for Minnie's response. This has nothing to do with the sex I intend to have later, which may or may not result in...
Oh my god, could you just shut up for 5 seconds? Your narration is so goddamn loud.
Yeah, I was going to talk to you about modulating your volume a little bit, Win. Like, it's weird when Anon does it, but Jesus Christ. You're trying to make it everyone else's problem. As I wrap up my explanation, there's a pregnant pause. I wait for Minnie's response.
Well, thank you for telling me all this, Win. I was not aware that Claudia was dealing with all this. I can't believe she's been keeping something like this from me. And refusing help from people she knows love her. It just makes me so... I can't believe she'd do something so stupid.
And I love how he's still involved in the conversation, the old man.
Keeping something like this for selfish is so... Ugh!
The large lady stifles her outburst and takes a deep, calming breath. And with a deep exhalation through her nostrils.
If you tell me you like my nostrils, I will choke you to death. When owe you an apology? I was all set to bite your head off for what you did. But it looks like you didn't have much of a choice, did you? I need to have a talk with her about this later during the week.
Is that wise? She didn't listen to me of the Xantha. Also, I kind of told... She'll be pretty pissed at me for telling you this. I don't think that's going to go well.
Oh, she'll listen to me. If not me, then the Lord. Because I'm gonna be praying up a storm for some intervention on her behalf.
Father Xander's like, oh my god, Minnie, I told you that doesn't work.
Which is what I suggest we all do.
It couldn't hurt. Well, I'm glad that resolved. Is that all you're here for, Minnie?
Oh, no, actually. I come over to get the schedules made up for the charity festival at the end of the month. And, the pickle was gone.
Minnie, I can't help but notice you were walking around in high heels. How the fuck do you walk in mud in high heels? Shouldn't you be sunk all the way to your knees at this point?
Oh, that's just a magic trick. They teach you that in Resident Evil school before you start shooting people called Leon S. Kennedy.
How oddly specific.
It's the same thing I said. If the picker was gone. I was going to talk to you about maybe, removing Win from the van duty. But no, I don't think that would be necessary.
I'm glad you've come to that conclusion. Although, depending on how things go between Win and Claudia, you may still have to.
Oh, I guess that's true. I'll just have to make 2 shots.
God, that is my fucking angle, right? My kind of woman. If I have to make 2 charts, well, I guess I'm just cursed to make 2 charts. Gosh, Safi. Why does your priest let you make 2 charts? Well, you see, there's this guy from out of town.
Well, I think I should be able to convince you to talk to you this Sunday. I'll be praying that the 2 of you can patch things up. You'd be shocked to know how often and how fondly she talked about you before this whole incident.
Yeah, Father Xander mentioned something like that.
Well, not to color your expectations, but the way she talked about you seems like she was starting to see you in the light of, more than just a friend.
He's
blushing! He is blushing!
Oh. Really?
That's what it sounded like to me.
Huh. That sounds nice.
I didn't say no 69. What are you talking about?
I told you, Win. You narrate very loudly. I want you.
But I have to go get those schedules drawn up. And then I have to go have a nice long chat with a certain lady. Thank you for being honest with not just me, Win, but also Claudia. For the scene.
Minnie? That went better than I expected. What were you expecting to go to? Oh, yeah, about how protective ceratopsids can be about their friends and family, haven't you? I've heard some of the stereotypes, but it's not really the fucking time, buddy. Mostly about them getting violent. Well, let's just say there's some stereotypes have a basis in reality. Also, I'm a racist piece of shit. Oh, come on, I used to have a garden to tend to. Not a thing about pulling weeds. Another few days later. My Godwin. Dream. Why the hell does that translate to snoo? Wait, what is it? It's like translation dream, but it's like, what? What are you doing, YouTube? Stop lying to me. Huh.